Hello, my name is Chad Renando. I'm the Managing Director for the Global Entrepreneurship Network here in Australia. I want to share with you about the Entrepreneurship World Cup, a global pitch competition where the top entrepreneurs from around the world have an opportunity to share in over $1 million in cash prizes and over $10 million of in-kind support. And obviously, we want somebody from Australia to represent and win and be a part of that top 100 entrepreneurs from around the world. I'm going to share with you a bit about the actual competition itself, and then we're going to walk through the application process just to show you how straightforward and simple that is. So first, what is the Entrepreneurship World Cup? It's a global pitch event, as I mentioned before, with over 200 countries representing from 400,000 entrepreneurs that can share in those prizes of $1 million in cash and over $10 million of in-kind support and additional investment opportunities, as well as being able to be represented at the national and the global stage. There is no entry fee. Any startup from around the world is welcome to apply. You need to be legally registered or planning to register if you're just an idea stage in the country of your residence. And obviously here that's Australia. You must be less than 7 years old as far as a firm at the date of the global finals, which is in November of this year. And people who won in the past or employees of the organizers are not eligible. So we're looking from 3 different stages. You can be an idea stage. You're just building a team. You maybe have an initial product or prototype. Maybe your company's not even registered. And maybe you're just raising those initial funds to get off the ground. Or you can be an early stage, building that product, getting an MVP, haven't raised as yet as far as investment funds, but you have successfully registered and you're starting to commercialize and get those customers on board. Or you could be in that growth stage, scaling, getting that customer acquisition and revenue, and maybe you've raised and you're showing that clear and growing and measurable market traction in a rapidly expanding market. So what's up for grabs? As I mentioned before, the top 100 applicants are eligible to share in the prize packs of over $10 million of those in-kind services and over $1 million US in those other prizes. And the top finalists, a minimum of 25, will be flying over to the finals, which this year is being held over in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And so you get a full scholarship, including flights and hotels and visas and meals and local transportation for the global finalist if you make it in that top cohort of a minimum of 25 applicants. So what are we looking for? The judging criteria is over 4 areas. First is we look at the product itself. What's the value proposition and what's the traction and where does it fit in the market? We look at the potential. What does the market need? The market potential and how much of that market could you potentially secure? Third, we look at predictability. Is it scalable? What's the revenue opportunities and what's the assessment on the growth potential? And finally, the people. We look at the team and the track record and the talent and the experience that's going behind it. So a couple of dates to keep in mind. The applications close on the 15th of August. So that's in a very short period of time. So we encourage you to start and complete those applications, which we'll walk through that process. And then we're hosting the national finals virtually in Australia on the 14th of September, where we take a short list of all applicants. We notify them and we ask them to pitch in a virtual event, and then we judge and let you know as far as who the finals are, which will be a minimum of 1 applicant going to the top 100 from around the world. So what is it that we're looking for? So this does align with the Global Entrepreneurship Congress, which is happening next year here in Australia in Melbourne from the 1st to 4th of May, where we have 5,000 delegates coming to Australia to focus on how we build better innovation ecosystems. And so we are wanting to represent out of the people who apply and out of the short list of finalists, we do want to support those to experience the Global Entrepreneurship Congress next year. And so to do that, we are looking for specific industries, including education and schools, food and ag, health and life sciences, creative industries, mining and energy, fintech and financial services, space and defense, sports and tourism. Areas of impact: female entrepreneurship, indigenous entrepreneurship, regional entrepreneurs and innovation ecosystem development, youth entrepreneurship, climate impact, social enterprise, and addressing sustainable development goals. And finally, by areas of technology, from artificial intelligence, augmented virtual reality, Web3 and blockchain, advanced manufacturing, quantum technology. So if you're focused on any of those areas, we do look favorably on those because we do want to represent those in Australia as well next year, in addition to highlighting those finalists this year. So we're going to walk through the application process now. The first thing you do when you do apply is you need to select that country. And of course, being from Australia, if you are based in Australia, you're looking to register your company in Australia. Obviously, we're looking for those in order to be part of our finalist here in the country. Once you register, and this is a sample application that I've created for myself, once you start that process, when you come back in, it'll encourage you to continue your application and unlocking some perks and in-kind support at different stages, from just starting your application as well as then finalizing it and submitting it. So I'm going to click here and go continue my application. We'll just walk through the fields just to show you how straightforward this application process is. So your country of application, again, you can't change that once you select, but if you're applying for Australia, then definitely select Australia as that country. You've got the first name, last name, email, country of headquarters, your state, and your city. Then we get into some basic information like your company name, your company address. Then you select what stage you're at. Don't worry too much as far as getting that stage absolutely right. Obviously, if you haven't registered your company, it needs to be at that idea stage. Otherwise, you can do early in growth, depending on where you're at, based on the descriptions that we said before. That when you go through, and if you get accepted in the top 100 from around the world, there's going to be a boot camp process where they help you further with your pitch and refine it. And so your stage may even change there, keeping in mind that even from the time you apply now to the time that you submit, you may advance in your stage if you're growing rapidly. What year your company was founded, if it was, and your company website, attach your logo. As far as the leadership team, put some details in about your leadership team, some background and why the team is well positioned for success, how many people are working full-time in your startup, and then come down through here and list your team members and their LinkedIn profiles. Then we get into business details. Please describe your business idea in a couple of sentences. And you can see here with the limit of 50 words, it's really just asking for that succinct elevator pitch. What do you consider your key industries or markets? Choosing the best that describes your business as far as for-profit, not-for-profit, a hybrid, or some other structure. And yes or no as far as if you're a social enterprise or not. A bit of a definition for what we mean by that. We then need to get into milestones and funding, where you're at as far as your stages go, how much funding have you raised to date, if any, and how long have you been working on your startup. We then get into problem and solution, who your customer is and what their primary use for it, really just wanting to understand, do we understand what the problem is that we're trying to solve and who are we solving it for? How many people need your solution and how will it reach them? So this is really asking about the market size and your distribution channels and how you're going to get the word out there. How would you describe success in your business or project? And what is your competitive advantage or unique value proposition? What sets you apart from other people, from other businesses and other organizations in your sector? And then we get into achievements and revenue. Please share any major achievements, awards, metrics, key performance indicators. So this could be if you have secured major customers, customer growth, user growth, whatever determines success for you, other programs you've been a part of, or other acknowledgments or accolades that you may have achieved in your business. Do you sell a subscription? And really that's just to clarify what your revenue model is and how much it is, and just registering that in US dollars. And then uploading your pitch deck and pitch video. And you have some samples here from previous years. And so just look at those as far as how many slides and the structures of the slides. And if you have any questions on that, please feel free to reach out. There's quite a few people in the Australian innovation ecosystem that can support you in crafting this together, and we're happy to point you in the direction of people that can help you out for your application process. How did you hear about the Entrepreneurship World Cup, and any additional information that you'd like us to know. So that's the application process. Like I said, it's fairly straightforward. For anybody who does apply and make it to the top finalists, we will be providing some pitch practice as well to be able to support you through the process to make sure that you can showcase your startup the best way possible at the end. And anybody who applies will be able to then help share the details about your business to a national audience, at least, as well as just letting the world know about the quality and caliber we have. So if I were to end with anything, just to really encourage you to apply, if you know anyone who has a startup or has a scale up or a success, or even runs incubators or accelerators that knows others who have entrepreneurs in their cohorts, please encourage them to apply. We do want to get not only as many applicants as we can, but also the quality of applicants on a global stage to really showcase and represent Australia to the world. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, please reach out. Yeah, again, if you're an entrepreneur giving it a go in Australia, thank you so much for what you do. Really appreciate your work and whatever we can do to help showcase and highlight what you do and the value of the Australian innovation ecosystem and your work in Australia. Thank you.